Hello everyone. We are going to talk about picture based questions in civics. Right? You all know that you are having mini cartoons in each of your chapter of NCERT civics. Now these cartoons will come like picture based questions. That will be the base of your question and you have to analyze and answer. So I'll try to explain how to answer such questions. First of all, to prepare for picture based questions, observe the cartoon images in NCERT. When you are reading the chapter, whatever image is coming, it is coming with a caption. The captions are there, the titles are there, a particular theme is provided over there, right? So, when you are reading the chapter, observe that theme and that concept carefully. You have to relate each and every image with the name of the chapter, whether it is federalism, whether it is power sharing, whether it is political parties. It will make it easy for you to answer that question. Remember, few pictures along with their questions and the description I am sharing with you here, but not necessarily that picture will come with the same question what I am giving you. The question may change, the options may change. So you need to prepare yourself in a way so that you have read the picture carefully, you have understood the theme carefully, and then you will be able to answer. I'll tell you few how to observe that. I know everybody is very much familiar with this map of Belgium, right? This is on page number 2. When you are doing this, please keep your social studies civics book in front of you so that you can easily relate with what I am saying. So this Belgium map is on page number 2 and they are saying which one of the following best explains the shaded portion of the map, right? Now here we have a colored map. So shaded portion is looking to you blue and green and red all three. There you will be having black and white map and only shaded portion will be colored as black. So for this particular question, take the green color as the shaded portion. Underline this thing, take the green color as the shaded portion here. Now, second thing is that the index is given to you here. We have taken the picture from the NCERT. So the index you are having here, but in examination paper, you will not get the index. So for this particular picture, what all you need to remember? The language, how this is distributed in Belgium, right? So that green color is for German speaking, that blue is for Flemish region, those who are Dutch speaking, white is that southern part, that Walloon who are French speaking, and then the small red circle is the capital Brussels. Right, and you know that the language composition is different in Belgium country and just reverse to that is there in Brussels. So you need to remember that language composition of Belgium. Then this green part, you should remember that the northern part is Flemish region, the southern part is Walloon region, that is French speaking, the side portion is German and that center is Brussels because index will not be there. So the correct answer for this particular image will be third, that is German speaking region, right? Now moving on to the map of Sri Lanka. This is on page number 3. I am telling you the page numbers and please refer to it. I am telling you again because it will help you out to understand. Again, same as Belgium, for Sri Lanka also, you need to remember the ethnic composition. Right. So in this particular question, since you have the colored map, you will get everything as the shaded parts. But for this particular question, you take the shaded part as the green one again. So if it is green one again, then what that green part is depicting? Now, index clearly shows that it is Sri Lankan Tamils. But you will not get the index in examination. So you need to remember this map in a way that now another question, what could be another question in this particular map? Which particular language is covering the maximum part of Sri Lanka? What is that according to the map? Obviously it is Sinhalas, that is with the red color, right? Then there is a small portion of white patch. These are the Deccan Tamils. right? So you need to remember these four different language bifurcations in Sri Lanka map. They may ask you to recognize any one particular region that as of now, right now, I told you like green one is for Sri Lankan Tamils, then blue ones are the other community, then the red ones are the Sinhalas, and the white ones are the Deccan Tamils. So you need to remember this much. Plus, you also need to remember that which particular language is taking up the maximum share and which particular language is taking up the minimum share in Sri Lanka. Right? Now, the image that is in front of you is from the power sharing chapter, page number 6. At once when the image comes to you and when you check out with the options given, you can correlate with the power distribution or power shared equally among the two parties. Maybe, but both of the options will be wrong. How to understand why and what to answer? Please refer to the caption which is given in NCERT along with this particular image. That is why I told you in the beginning, read the captions along with every image in NCERT. Now, this cartoon, which is there in front of your screen, when you read the caption of it on page number 6, it says that it represents the problems of running the Germany's grand coalition government that includes the two major parties of the country. Right? That time in 2005, it is talking about two major parties who were historically the rivals of each other. That was the Christian Democratic Union and Social Democratic Party. They formed the government because none of them were having the majority. Coalition government is when more than one party join hands to make a government, right? Two major parties joined to form the government, but they were not having similar opinions on policy matters. So the government became like a vehicle with two steerings and two drivers, and both the drivers were taking the vehicle to their own directions. That problem is depicted in this image. Right? So please read the captions because question may not come the way exactly what I have given. The question may change with the same image. So if you don't read the caption along with the image which is given in your NCERT book, you will not be able to analyze that. Right. Now, this image from the chapter Federalism. Federalism is what? Federalism is all about sharing the power between the state and the central government. Right. Now, when you will move on to page number 21 of chapter Federalism, page number 21 of chapter Federalism, they are just giving a single line on the top of the image. It says the states plead for more powers. So you will see Indira Gandhi is there as somebody who is distributing, and different leaders of different political parties. You may not recognize the people out there. Jyoti Basu is there, other leaders, old leaders are there, but that is not much needed. What you need to understand is that the central government is holding the powers and the state governments are asking for powers. You can see that here the container which is used for distributing, or which is supposed like depicting that it is having the material to be distributed, powers of the states. Read it out carefully, and if you cannot read over here, then you can read it out in your NCERT book, page number 21. It says powers of the states. So what does it show? This is central government. These are the leaders from various states, and they are standing and asking for the powers, right? In India, we do not have a proper federalism. The central government is little more powerful than the state governments, and that is why the state governments keep on asking for more from the central government. Right? So that is the relationship between center and states is depicted in this particular image. It is not midday meal. It is not people and state government, because those who are serving are central government and those who are on the receiving end are the state government, right? So this is from the chapter Federalism. Again, The same question can come in different ways. The same options you may not receive. So you have to understand that this is about the power distribution between center and state in the federal system of India. And this you will understand only when you will read that single line. I am not giving you those lines and those captions over here. Otherwise, you will not read the images from NCERT book. Right? So please go through page number 21 for this particular image. Now, moving on to the next. This, can you recognize? This is on page number 8. Again, from the chapter Power Sharing. At first, when you will see that somebody with the crown and all is riding, and the democracy is represented through a horse. So very easily you can go for constitutional monarchy if you will not observe it carefully. But when you observe it carefully, you see that the first person on the left side is Putin, that is from Russia, and the other person is George Bush. It is written on the arms, that is from USA. Right, now move on to page number 8. And just when you will read it out, in 2005 some new laws were made in Russia giving more powers to the president. Fine. During the same time, US president visited Russia. So that time Putin was the president of Russia, Bush was the president of USA. More powers were given to Putin, and Bush visited Russia. According to this cartoon, relationship between democracy and concentration of powers is depicted, clearly written in the caption. Relationship between democracy and concentration of powers. Now how come that happens? Putin is being given more powers, but Russia is a democratic country. Fine. So more powers are going to be concentrated in the president now, but along with that, the president has to catch hold on the democracy also. Means people should not feel that they are going under dictatorship or any other form of governance. Even more powers are given to the president. The democracy should remain a democracy. So there was a relationship between democracy and concentration of powers. Right. now now this is very interesting slide. Right, now what does it show? It is on page number 84 from the chapter of political parties. At first glance you can go for the first option that she says one party country, so you will say that rule of one party in USA, the simplest option that you could think of. But that would be wrong. Now you can see there is a pig, and then there are elephants which are in the pocket of pigs. Right. So third option, since you see the elephants, again you can get tempted to the third option, but again third option is also not correct for this. Now, what does that pig stands for? Why only pig is taken? Why not any other animal is taken over there? Pig here stands for piggy bank. Piggy bank, it stands for the money owners, the corporates in USA. USA because the dollar is there. So we are talking about USA only. And now when you see the flag with this reference, you will find that corporate America is there in the flag. So the pig or the piggy bank represents the corporate of USA. Now, in the pocket of the corporate, you have the court, you have the Senate. Senate is actually the upper house of US Parliament. Then you have the houses, then you have the presidency. Means all major institutions are in the pocket of that pig that represents the corporates of USA. So the second option is perfectly correct over here, that the corporates of USA controls all major institutions of the country. Right. Now moving on to the next one. This is from the chapter of political parties, which is very clear. Now, what you observe over here is that you are having many leaders on a stage, those who are just the way they do, delivering their speeches and giving their agendas out. The common man out here. This is a cartoon from R.K. Lakshman, and the person that Lakshman always depict himself as a common person, common people. He represent that only. So it is on page number 73. If you cannot read what is written in the newspaper, then you can refer to page number 73. That says that nation isn't pearl. That means there is a danger. The nation is not in a comfortable position. And the wife says, where have all our leaders gone at a time like this? When the nation need our leaders, where the leaders have gone, right? So this is what the cartoon says. Now, all four options which are given to you are the options or the functions expected from political parties, right? You may very easily go with the fourth option, saying that it is shaping public opinion, because public is giving an opinion and the leaders are saying something, something, something. This is the easiest option that can confuse you over here, because forming and running of government is not shown over here. Government machinery and welfare schemes nowhere seen. So second and third option you can easily remove. Fourth and first may confuse you. Please be very careful, children. Shaping of public opinion is not the correct option here. Why? Because the public opinion is already formed. They are just looking for the leaders and they are not getting anybody out there. The leaders are busy. So what the leaders are supposed to do here, according to this cartoon, what the leaders are supposed to do? The leaders are supposed to play a decisive role in making laws for the country and get the condition recover. So, what is the function that is required here is playing a decisive role, political parties to play a decisive role in making laws for the country. That is what this. So you can understand how confusing it would be if you do not read the images carefully. There is no caption given with this image in your NCERT book, but you need to understand it this way. Moving on to the next one. Now this one is very interesting. I have included this caption part also over here because it was necessary for you to read it that way. That is why. Now this is particularly giving a puppet theater. Now, what I am telling you from the beginning, how to read, how to read, how to read an image. So, see, there is one title given, that is Puppet Theater at the top. This is number one. Then some captions along with it. Okay. Now, one question which I am giving you here is you have to identify the person, but not necessarily this could be the question. It says that the Prime Minister of Italy was also a top businessman in Italy. He was the leader of a particular channel. Then he was the leader of most incorporated important publishing company. He was having a football club. So basically the point is that he was holding the media as well as he was holding the corporate sector. Now he was holding the political sector also. We are talking about the Prime Minister of Italy. So the first thing that comes out is that we are talking about, so that answer you have got. But what they are trying to show in this, it is like, since the important sectors were under the control of one person only, important sectors like media, corporate and political were under the control of one person only, the person will not allow you to look into the other perspectives or other dimensions of issues. That is against democracy. So they have depicted this as a puppet theater. Try to understand why puppet theater. It is not like he's the leader of a, because if you will not read the captions, I'm sure what you will just conclude is that he is the leader of a political party and many smaller leaders are under him and he is using them like puppets. This is a very simple depiction of this particular image, but this is not so. When you will read the caption, you will understand that this person is the Prime Minister of Italy. He is holding important areas of his country, and because of which the people of the country may not get access to different dimensions of the democracy, which is against democracy, and the democracy or the governance just becomes like a puppet theater. That is what is depicted in this image. Now this one I'm 100% sure that you all must have recognized that this is from the chapter political, I'm sorry, this is from the chapter Outcomes of the Democracy. Fine. Now it is on page number 96. I am sure you have opened page number 96. Read out the single line caption: World's wealth owned by a few. So the whole pizza is representing the wealth of the world. a small piece of that is shared with the 50% of the population, and you can see the condition of that 50% population not in a very good condition, as you can see, and rest the whole pizza belongs to the 2%. That is the developed nations who are controlling the politics of the country, the global politics you can talk about. Fine. So accommodations of social diversity will not come here because accommodation is not even seen over here. What you can see is non-justified distribution of world's wealth. You can see it is written in that pizza, that is world's wealth. And a small share of that is given to the maximum population, and the biggest share is going to a small population, right? Reduction of poverty, of course, not possible. Dignity and freedom, nowhere coming with the image. So, what is there is economic inequalities among nations. Is that clear? It is economic inequalities among nations. This is from outcomes of democracy chapter. Now please refer to that, because again I am saying the same question may come with some other concept, or because we have done the chapter also. So they may relate your MCQ options with that concept also. But what does it depict is that world wealth is owned by a few and maximum are getting the minimum share. This concept you have to keep in your mind. Now this is not from your NCRT. Now what does it present? Difference in opinion, multi-party system with symbols, and party meeting. It's very simple. It is showing the multi-party system because you can see different party symbols at the top, and then the parties, the way they do the rallies and all, it is depicted. So you can relate it with multi-party system with symbols. But again, there is a twist. In this particular question, I have given you the options which have come earlier. This may change as the chaos which is created by political parties by the name of their ideologies. This may get related with that concept also. So please keep that in mind. Now this one is, as you can see, is something related to elections, because it is written electoral discipline is not our cup of tea. It is on page number 86 from the chapter political parties. Page number 86 from the chapter political parties. Now when you will go through that, first of all, you will say electoral discipline is not our cup of tea. So you will understand that the person who is shouting attention is trying to discipline the people in front of it. Now, people in front of it are having different symbols with them or something. So they may represent the political parties. So what the political parties are saying, that electoral discipline we will not accept. Okay. Now, do you agree? It is written in your book. Do you agree that this form of reforming political parties will be acceptable to them? This is written in your NCRT. That means this particular image is related with electoral reforms. This particular image, right? Because it is written clearly over there that do you agree that this form of reforming? Okay. Now, here when you will read, you will find election code. The person who is carrying this, it is written election code. So who can give the election code? This is the role of election commission. Election commission gives election code to political parties. So now when you see the options, political agents, no. Elections, no. Government is coping with multiple pressures through accommodations, no. Election commission, who is shouting on political parties and asking them to be in discipline, but they are refusing to be in discipline. This is the major theme. So what you should remember is, it is the election code which is being shared with the political parties to make them disciplined, and the person who is doing is symbolizing the election commission, right? Now this particular is, you can see there's a person sitting in front of the fire, and he's actually suffering with that sweating and all. He's not able to handle it, the pressure that he's having over there. It is on page number 21 from the chapter federalism. When you will go through this, You can I think you can easily identify over here the coalition government thing, right? Now there you will see different faces that depict different political, then different party symbols are there, and then Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the leader of BJP, having this lotus in his hands, is sitting over here. Very clearly you can understand that the person is heading a government which is having various political parties with him. So that is a coalition form of government. But since when you are in coalition form of government, different parties negotiate with you, okay, for their demands. So it becomes very painful to run such government. So that coalition form of government is being depicted over here.